Hello everyone, March 25, the lunar and solar eclipses are here, and the solar eclipse in particular, there's no going back. It's a total reorientation. So many planets in Pisces, get ready to go with the flow, but the thing is, it's not in the direction you anticipated. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to sub below, and if the video is helpful for you, of course, give it a thumbs up. Thank you. Let's go. Let's look at the visibility quickly, everybody. The lunar eclipse, called a blood moon or a full lunar eclipse on the 13th, 14th of March, is widely available to be viewed throughout the world, although I do not advise viewing at any time an eclipse. It is not auspicious. So Antarctica, the Arctic Circle, Australia, Northern Asia, North America, South America, Europe and Africa, but not in India. The partial solar eclipse, 29th of March, visible in the Arctic Circle, mostly Europe, Northwest Africa. Thing is, wherever you are in the world, do not view lunar or solar eclipse is my most definite advice. It is not auspicious to do so. And secondly, astrologically, the visibility of any eclipse does not affect its potency in our destiny. This is again important to understand. On the 14th of March, we have the full lunar eclipse. It happens at 29 degrees Leo, which I've circled here for you, but the actual eclipsing factor is not in Leo. It's in Virgo, where Ketu is. There are two things you need to understand about this lunar eclipse, everyone. First of all, it is a clarifying of the solar eclipse, which happened in Virgo during October 2024. This is what lunar eclipse is. It's a clarification, emotional, cathartic, aha. Now you know something which was hidden before. It's all coming out in the wash, wherever Virgo is in your horoscope. The other factor is, of course, that the moon is at a critical degree 29 Leo. This should not be forgotten. And the sun at 29 Aquarius. There is still some effect from this Leo Aquarius in your chart, but the main factor is in Virgo. I will explain in the individual readings, but here's the thing. Critical degree means critical situation. So something has come to a critical point. Something which needs to be clarified is going to be clarified, do not fear. And Saturn's involvement, of course, during this eclipse is important. Saturn is about top-heavy situations happening. Saturn is democracy, Sun is the king, you see. So authority figures, difficulty with them will be here prior to this eclipse. Expect clashes with the boss, teachers, lecturers, mentors, family, parents, anybody who has authority over you. They can be acting very top-heavy during this lunar eclipse. But still, the good news, you know where you stand. And that is actually helpful if you think about it. The solar eclipse, though, is different because this solar eclipse will have no clarification. This is a solar eclipse full stop. It's happening in Pisces, where the sun, moon combust, of course, at 14 degrees Pisces with Mercury, Venus, Rahu, the eclipsing factor, the north node of the moon. This is a very potent solar eclipse. And as I say, because there is no resolution coming, this is it. This is a finalization in some area where Pisces is in your horoscope. Because everybody, you have to understand, Rahu goes backwards into Aquarius in May. There are no more eclipse cycles happening in Pisces, Virgo, not for 18 years anyway. So this is a definite ending situation. Of course, people are becoming a bit frantic about this Pisces pileup for no reason. Let's see what's really going on. There are two dispositors, Guru, 3 signs away, and Ketu, 7 signs away. And these dispositors being 3 signs away, 7 signs away, means conflict, means argumentation, means disruption happening because people don't like what is ending. That's the thing. And this is big time affecting governments, of course, because solar eclipse is about sun being eclipsed with the moon, populace and leadership. There is an eclipse, there is a vacancy, there is something being taken away in certain government circles in the world. So it's a very anxiety-making eclipse, even though it is not even lunar eclipse. As I make this video, people are talking about things outside of control, big world shifts taking place, so on, so forth. Yeah, this can affect oceans in the world. It can affect ecosystem, definitely, but it's not something new. It's something which is ongoing. That's the thing. Pisces is religious spirituality, so there is some big shifts in world religious organizations, leadership factors. People are switching belief systems. If you've got some doubts about a religious system, you're going to make a total shift in it during this solar eclipse. And on a more mundane level, Mercury, Venus being eclipsed here, completely squashed, and they are both retrograde, means that everybody is changing desire materially. What you thought you wanted, job-wise, home-wise, relationship-wise, is undergoing a shift in March 25. I mean, on a very petty level, I have to say, Venus is about beautifying yourself, even having a haircut. It could go wrong. You could go for the haircut and end up walking out of there looking different. That's okay. Go with the flow. As I say, maybe this is your new look, okay? So you have to expect that everything about Mercury, Venus, business, investments, monetary matters are in a flux and are very difficult. Market factors are extremely confused in this March 25. And Venus, of course, is about cooperating with others. Nobody wants to cooperate when Venus goes retrograde, compounding this aggressive factor I have just discussed. And that's really important because Mangala has got its full drishti onto Ketu, dispositor of the eclipse. So everyone, when we have Mangala attacking Ketu like this, we have violence, we have all or nothing situation, my way or the highway. You will feel this vibration, everybody, even in your family circle, in your workplace, in your neighborhood, with your kids, everywhere. This Mangala Ketu vibration is very disruptive. There's a complete lack of cooperation in government circles, between leadership, between management, everywhere. Team players, well, you're going to have a tough time during March 25. Chill out. Don't let the argumentation suck you in like a vortex. This is my definite advice. Don't forget, Ketu is terrorism, so this is war situations, terrorism, dramatic reactions, overreactions. It's not a pretty picture in any way. So what should you do? You should be like a river. Pisces is a river. This is such an important thing to understand. Flow like the river of Pisces over all the obstacles. Don't become stuck. Don't become stuck in some argumentative loop. There's no point arguing. Let things go is a definite way forward. One final point, Saturn at this critical degree in Aquarius is not part of this eclipse, but the next day he's here in Pisces. Check the video on my channel, of course. Link below. Saturn's karmic transit until 28 in the sign of Pisces. And of course, when he gets into Pisces, he will clash right away with Rahu, who is leaving Pisces. Saturn coming in, Rahu going out, they're going to clash. And this is a Rahu-Saturn conjunction. It's a very negative conjunction, and I'm going to be putting up a video about it. But here's the good news. I want to tell you straight away now, everyone. If you can just go with this eclipse, let things go, flow over these things like the obstacles, like the river does, flowing over it, not becoming reactive, not becoming argumentative, not getting into an argumentative loop, not saying my way or the highway, definitely, you will find peace in your heart, and this Saturn-Rahu conjunction will not bother you at all. There's a tip. How to use the readings, everybody. Vedic astrology, sidereal horoscope only. Find your ascending sign and your moon sign. Read from both. If you don't know what they are, try the link below to a website, Devaguru. Put in your birth data and bring up moon and ascendant for yourself. A quick word about time scales before we go on to the reading. 13th, 14th of March is the lunar eclipse. I have just said this tends to happen as an event near to this date where there is clarity in some area of concern. But the effect of the 29th of March solar eclipse tends to happen before the date, in the 2 weeks preceding. Something is being lifted, something is being removed. Let it go. Listen to what I just said. For Aries, Moon and Ascendant, the lunar eclipse is helpful to you, happening in the 6th house of your chart, clarifying work, environmental concerns, colleague, network circles, health issues become completely clarified, and your distant goals as well, especially connected to foreign lands. Something becomes known to you now. Do you move? Do you stay? You can finally make a decision. If you are a student, it's really important because the moon is at a critical degree in the 5th house of learning. Do you stay on the course as well? Something is known to you now that was not known previously. But it's always an emotional eclipse. There can be blow-ups in the workplace with your colleagues, even with your kids if you should have them. Calm down. Don't become emotional. Listen to the information coming to you. It's so useful. Coming up towards the 29th of March, after the lunar eclipse, though, you're becoming anxious. You're becoming super anxious and phobic about these big decisions in connection to foreign land, health issues, maybe as well. But here's the thing, you're going to find out something more. You're going to know now something deeply significant for you, connection to your foreign land ambitions. Something which you thought was easy, was just going to open to you, will not open to you, and you need to let it go. So it's a big turnaround in these sorts of connections. But it's positive too, because solar eclipse, 12th house, can eclipse all of your worries, all of your phobias, all of your nightmares, basically. You may be having more really intuitive dreams. Watch your dream cycle all the way through March. Keep a dream diary. You will be so insightful. The eclipse cycle is opening up your subconscious mind. So you will naturally get a bit aggressive and uptight though, because your Lord Mangala, check beginning of the video what I've spoken about during the solar eclipse in the 2 weeks preceding, especially, is having a big fight with Ketu, the dispositor. You're feeling like fighting all of these difficult factors. You want to argue. You want to get on top of these feelings that things are out of control. No, you must let it go. Be like the river, as I said previously. Let the things go that are not going your way. If you try to push, if you try to make it happen, it will not be good. Let things go. And 12th house is about debt, financial debt. Something comes up and you have to deal with financial debt. You should deal with it now. Wipe it out. Take action about financial obligations. Finally, don't forget Saturn soon coming into Pisces, 12th house. Check the link below to understand this big transit going on until 2028. You will be glad you have let certain concerns go. Rather than fighting them, it will actually give you peace. And this will certainly affect relationship issues. Rather than fighting with your partner, make a decision. Is this the right relationship? Because Venus is involved in this solar eclipse, 7th house lord. So let things go. Do not get into confrontation. Things will heal much more quickly. Taurus, Moon and Ascendant. Clarity is coming to you in a very good way on the 13th, 14th of March. It's emotional. Now you'll understand about your kid situation. Something about children been worrying you all the way since the autumn last year. Education course students have been very concerned about participation in this course since about October 24. And creative people have been totally blocked in some creative endeavor, not knowing how to move forward, all been happening since October eclipse 24. And now it's going to disperse. You're going to get the information so you can start to be creative, do it differently, so you can continue on the course because you know what is lying ahead, or you can leave the course, one or the other. You could make a definite decision about education. And you will get clarity with your kids, maybe starting family, maybe children who you already have. You will get clarity about concerns connecting to them. This lunar eclipse takes a weight off your shoulder, even though it's unexpected, even though it's emotional, it's good. But the powerful solar eclipse is a wipeout. Listen to what I've been talking about beginning of the video. It's positive for you because it happens in the 11th house of your chart. Doesn't happen bang on this date, but in the 2 weeks preceding, you are changing all of your ambitions for the future, completely transforming them, turning them around. You don't really want to do it, but you're being forced into a corner. This can be about promotion, job opportunities, workplace stress, which has been overwhelming you. You've had this for a long time. Saturn in your 10th house, you are going to let it go. You're going to focus on the things which you want to do now. This is a very empowering solar eclipse for Taurus moon and ascendant. You may find that colleagues, network circles are changing. People are leaving your orbit, friendships, long-term friendships, or maybe long-term colleagues as well. You may feel a bit thrown back onto your own resources, but this is good because you will gain strength from this. Do not fear. Some of you give up totally some job opportunity, decide, no, I thought I wanted it, now I do not. So it's a total reorientation of your ambitions, of your workplace, of your consideration of how to actually work. How do you want to work from home, in the office, everything? You will revolutionize it. Somehow it happens a little bit outside of your control, but it's still good for you. Go with this. Flow like the river through the obstacles and do not resist these positive changes. Because don't forget, Saturn is coming out of your 10th house, all the workplace stress, all the unmovable obstacles. He's going into your 11th house near to this eclipse. Check the video on my channel, Saturn Pisces transit right up until 28. The link is below. Gemini moon and ascendant, it's emotional because the lunar eclipse takes place in the 4th house of your chart. Home, family, domestic situations, situations with your mother as well, some people. But it's good because some ongoing domestic stress since October 24 is going to be removed. You will have conversations which make everything clear to you now. You know exactly what is going to happen. You know exactly how other people feel. And this is actually quite helpful to you. This is a real clarification of a deep domestic disturbance. But the moon is right at the end in a critical degree in Leo, so there can be difficult conversations with your sibling, even with your father during this time. Do not become too emotional. Take everything calmly. It's a beneficial piece of information, going to help you tremendously. After this good information, though, things seem to cloud over for you. In the 2 weeks prior to the 29th of March, don't forget, your Lord is going to go retrograde. Mercury goes retrograde, and you begin to think, no, even though I know what I want to do I want to do it? Even though everything has been cleared for me to do something I've been wanting, you begin to doubt in the middle of March if you really want to do it at all. It's all connected to your career situation, to your ambitions, to the job situation, to whatever you are focused on doing in the world, whether it's employment, self-employment, anything, what your goals are. Something inside you is starting to shift prior to this solar eclipse, 29th of March. You're having a think about it deeply. That's a thing, because Mercury, your Lord, going retrograde helps you to think. You see, retrograde Mercury becomes empowered. He is in Pisces, debilitated, but when he goes retrograde, you should understand he begins to feel exalted. So Gemini, this is really helpful. You're going to get the most incredible ability to think things through. You'll be saying to yourself many times, oh, why didn't I think of that before? Why didn't I see this solution, particularly around career and workplace? You finally get it, and this is helpful. But don't get into confrontations with boss, superiors. It could so easily happen at the beginning of March, middle of March, in fact, right the way through the month, because you are so focused on this new goal. It's a goal you didn't even know you would have. Now you have it. It's a brand new future. You are leaving the past behind in your workplace, ambitions and status even. This is incredible. Go with this. Do not look back. It's a startling lunar eclipse, 13th, 14th of March. As always, when your Lord, the moon, becomes eclipsed, you get a little bit emotional, cathartic, all of your deep held feelings, which you can often bottle up. Don't forget, Cancer, moon and ascendant, all your feelings come out. Watch for confrontations. This happens in your third house, communication, particularly with your siblings, network circles, education circles, and even family circles, because the moon is at a critical degree in the second house of your chart as well. So some family issue gets total clarification, but in a critical way that really makes you nervous. Don't be. Keep talking to people. Keep mind open. Particularly financial affairs, you may get a little bit of a shock about your financial affairs. Do not fear. It's good to know what's really happening. Then you can make good plans for the future. The solar eclipse, 29th of March, there's no going back from this one. Check what I said beginning of the video. This is in the 9th house of your horoscope. And this involves future plans, orientation, deep belief systems, and definitely affects students in a really deep way. Something about education course has got to be let go of. Some course, some module perhaps, or some element of the educational course is never going to give you what you are seeking. And now you definitely understand this. So a total reorientation in your educational prospects happen in March 25. And if you are a business person having foreign affairs, something just goes. Something cannot work anymore in connection to foreign trade. Once again, a total reorientation will be necessary. Father may be having issues, conflict with your father, or indeed siblings occasionally may occur. Try to get agreement. It's so important. The 9th house is about what you deeply believe in. Some of you have a complete religious conversion, or you change your whole deep belief philosophy system. There is no going back. Something doesn't work for you, and you need to look elsewhere for this deep felt spiritual satisfaction. On a more general level, 9th house is about future goals. Where are you going in life? What do you believe in? What are you alive for? What can you give to the world? All of these things you are deeply thinking about, and some reorientation takes place. People mightn't even see this is happening. You're not going to be talking to people about this stuff, but it's a deep, important conversion, if you like, change in your deeply held ambitions. Don't forget, Saturn is going to leave your 8th house. He's been giving you so much trouble. He's going to be going at the 30th of March, near to this eclipse, and going into your 9th house. So what you start to focus towards now, during the next 2 or 3 years, it's going to take you in a whole new direction. Check the video on my channel, Saturn Transit Pisces, the link is below. Leo, moon and ascendant, 13th, 14th of March, the lunar eclipse in the 2nd house of your chart, your resources, your money, your business, your family. Something's been upsetting you since October, and you're finally going to know the truth about something in regard to these factors. You're going to know what is going to work for you or not financially. Investments, business, something is not clear for so long and been causing you concern. Suddenly, the information comes in a most unexpected way. And because the moon itself is in Leo, your sign, at a critical degree, this is emotionally cathartic for you. It's just like a wow, I never thought this was what was really going on. It can affect relationships, business partners. Finally, they are revealing things to you that you can't believe, but it's good because it can actually bring you closer together. This lunar eclipse gives you clarity. You can make good business decisions now, relationship decisions as well. It's really helpful. Second house is about eating, diet, all of those things. If you've been on some diet since the autumn, it's not working. There's something wrong. It's just not suitable. You will find out why now and make changes to your whole eating routine. Because moon is in Leo, health can improve tremendously making these changes. The solar eclipse, though, which is coming into fruition on the 29th of March, but in the 2 weeks preceding, you start to get a feeling that something isn't quite right. You know now that you have to make changes to your health regime, to your connections to other people, because all of this happens in the deeply intuitive and critical 8th house of your chart. If you are a student, research student doing deep research, something is not working. You may rip up the whole research project. It's got to be started again. Something has not been right about it. Attend to it immediately. Business partnerships come under a real spotlight. Lunar eclipse gave you information. Now you are doubting future of this business partnership itself. But that's okay. There's a need to start from scratch. Some of you have to start a whole business from the beginning. Some of you close a business down. Some of you close investment accounts, stock market accounts, everything. You simply know that you can't go on with them anymore. It can be a bit irritating to you. It can make you feel out of control because the sun, your Lord, is obviously being eclipsed. But if you are brave, if you go with what you know deep inside, because the 8th house is your gut instinct, your intuition guiding you, you will make good, even though very dramatic decisions during this time. Cooperation is the key, you see, and this solar eclipse means that you have to cooperate with other people, even people you would rather not cooperate with. You're being forced into a corner. That's why 8th house solar eclipse makes you feel that you've lost a bit of control. Leo's a little bit of control freaks, let's face it. You like to be in control, but there's no control when your Lord has been eclipsed in this dramatic 8th house. Accept what is not workable, business, even relationship, some of you, and definitely do not feel that you have to pick up the pieces of other people's mess as well, because the 8th house is about dealing with people's crisis. You can't control everything, Leo. Some other people in your life, family maybe, have got to be let alone to deal with their own situations, and this solar eclipse is going to make it really obvious to you. And finally, watch your health. You could have a health crisis when you think, oh no, I've got to do something about this. Do it. Fix any health issue immediately and everything will be fine. It's an amazing lunar eclipse for Virgo, moon and ascendant, because the actual eclipse takes place in your sign where Ketu is, but the moon is in your 12th house in a critical degree in Leo. So unexpectedly, you get some intuition about something and you follow it through and the information comes. Something that's been hidden from you since the autumn 24 becomes known to you during this lunar eclipse, 13th, 14th of March. near to those dates. You may even have a dream about it, or you could read something in a book, anything, because Mercury, your Lord, don't forget, is going to be going retrograde near to this date. You're going to be going back on so many things, changing your whole ambitions and course in life. This is a dramatic eclipse cycle. But around this time, it's emotional cathartic in your relationship situations, with health issues and with hidden factors. So this could be hidden in connection to absolutely anything, because 12th house simply shows something which is hidden. And because the sun is in your 6th house, it's good to get rid of some workplace stress, some difficult colleague situation, workplace environmental stressor, which has been there since October last year. It's going to be blasted out. You're finally going to see what the real issue is, and it's going to clarify things for you tremendously. Also, if you have pets, small animals, something clarifying happens in connection to them maybe as well during this lunar eclipse. The solar eclipse 29th of March is wiping something away, wiping the slate clean in your life, because it takes place in a Kendra house, in the 7th house of your chart. This always sweeps away the past, opens up a whole new perspective for you. You mightn't be keen to go along with it though, but stick with it. It's going to be good. And 7th house is business, self-employment. Some of you end a whole business partnership, reorientate business, scrap business project. Something is going to be left behind, and you start to become aware of it the closer that you get to this solar eclipse. You're not getting agreement. Venus, your Lord, are combusted in the middle of this eclipse, and your Lord retrograde. Good news. Your Lord acts exalted. Even though he is debilitated, you will get insight into a whole new business possibility. But it means scrapping something, leaving something behind. Same thing, intimate, personal relationship. Something's got to change. There's too much stresses, there's too much disagreement, there's too much inharmony. Cards on the table. Where are you going together? Coming to agreement now means listening to others, but being perfectly clear about your feelings, what you want. Then a complete eclipse of the past difficulties could happen. It's a do or die situation. Relationships have to transform at this solar eclipse, and it's good because it clears the deck for the future. It's very important to be emotionally honest though, because Ketu continues in your sign. You've been becoming a little bit self-obsessed, let's face it, a little bit detached. Now partners want to know where you stand, and you've got to be perfectly clear. It's a trust issue, you see. Solar eclipse means, who do you trust? Who trusts you? In a business partnership, relationship situation, without trust, it just can't go on. So clarify everything, even if it means being a little bit vulnerable. This is going to be so helpful. For Libra moon ascendant, the lunar eclipse happens in the secretive house of your chart, in the 12th house. So something secretive is going to be revealed around the 13th, 14th of March. But the moon itself is in the 11th house and the sun 5th house. This could be something critical though, about children, money, income, workplace, or promotion as well. But it gives you understanding, something which has been ongoing, not clear, a bit like a mystery to you, since the autumn is going to become patently clear. And this has a big impact on your health as well. So information comes out about a long-standing health issue that's been bugging you. Now you are having clarity, and this can only be for the good. And then the solar eclipse is upcoming 29th of March. Now, before this date, 2 weeks before, slowly you know that you have to take action. There could even be hospital involvement, medical procedures done, but these are good. These will eclipse so many health issues for you. So see to these health situations immediately. This is the best way forward. The problem with this solar eclipse, though, for you, Libra, is that your Lord Venus is in the eclipse and therefore is going to be eclipsed. Something which you'd wanted to do is no longer possible. But don't worry, something better's coming. Here's the thing, particularly investments, business, and everything about finances needs to be completely transformed. But on a deeper level, what's happening is Venus is retrograde, of course. So Venus acts now as though he is debilitated. What does this mean for Libra, Moon, and Ascendant? You're getting indecisive. Now, you do have these moments when you're going this way, that way, and it stresses you out completely. And this solar eclipse, not just here, but in the 2 weeks preceding this date, makes you incredibly indecisive. You do not know what to do. March is a stressful time for you, actually, because of this. Of course, the sixth house is also about pets, and Rahu is here. But this is good because pets having any health issues, concerns, you're going to swiftly deal with them. They may come up suddenly, but you will deal with them during this solar eclipse. And as I say, take care of your own health. Get enough time to yourself. Do not take on everybody else's problems, as you are definitely want to do. Final point, Ketu is a dispositor of the solar eclipse and he's in your 12th house. Pilgrimage, meditation, spirituality, this is what you need. You need to get away from everything. If you are going into foreign shores, it could be beneficial if it's a quiet place where there is spirituality involved. Definitely good for you. But the thing is, of course, Mercury's retrograde causing travel delays, but still, getting away from everything is the best thing to help you through this eclipse cycle. Many of you, something to consider. Scorpio, Moon and Ascendant, lunar eclipse, 13th, 14th of March happens in the 11th house of your chart. Income coming to you, promotion if it is available, all of these things. Everything has been in the dark since October, particularly friendship network circles. Who supports you? Who can you rely on? These things have been really unclear. The 11th house especially is about who you work with. So there can be big changes happening in your support network, in your job, but it's a good thing, throwing you back on yourself. You are getting inner strength and you will finally see who your true friends are during this lunar eclipse, that's for sure. But the 11th house is also about gain. Lunar eclipse means that some promised gain may not materialize, but that's a good thing, so you can stop hoping for things that are never going to work for you. This can change your whole perspective on your job situation. Some of you are thinking that it's never going to work where you are. You're going to have to make moves in the near future. So it's a bit of a crisis in your income, but things are changing very, very swiftly, and the solar eclipse is the key turning point. The solar eclipse, 29th of March, and the 2 weeks before, you are reorientating yourself completely in regard to your goals in life. This happens in the 5th house of your chart. So this eclipse affects all 5th house things. 5th house is romance, love, relationships, and definitely children's affairs, certainly education, and also all sorts of speculative gain. Plus, if you are a creative person, there's a big rethink going to happen in your creative endeavors. So romantic relationships, it's a big rethink. Who are you in tune with? Are you in tune with your future partner, girlfriend, boyfriend? What are your future plans together? Things need to be discussed seriously in the 2 weeks up to this solar eclipse. And if you are a creative, artistic person, you've got to tear all of your projects up and start again. Something needs to be completely changed so that you can have good creative focus. In any educational environment, whether you are student, perhaps even teacher, you need to rethink commitments here. Is this going to work for you long term? But discuss everything carefully, because your Lord Mars is in a square aspect to Ketu. That's your other Lord. You are in two minds about this. You definitely should seek advice. If you are self-employed business person, there's a huge change happening in your business partnership or in your future goals, because Mangala is your Lord. And as I said beginning of the video, he is having a square aspect to Ketu, the dispositor of the eclipse. So this eclipse is going to reorientate business people to a whole new source of income. But avoid speculation. Speculation is the worst thing you could do, because an eclipse is happening in the 5th house. And this could be dangerous. There could be losses, because Ketu is in the actual house of gain. Ketu gives loss. So do not go for speculative gain, stock market, risky situations in any way during March itself, and especially near to this solar eclipse. Sagittarius moon in ascendant, some issue in the workplace has been unresolved since the autumn. Something has been unclear about your future on the job, and it's going to be made patently clear during the lunar eclipse, 13th, 14th of March. If you've been having any problems with your superior, boss, anybody in authority, it's going to come to a crisis point very quickly. A do or die situation. Don't get into arguments, but you will know where you stand certainly with this person around the lunar eclipse. In some cases, it may not be an actual person, but an actual government agency, but it's some authority from which you have been waiting to get clarity. It's going to come now. And from the middle of the month, your whole attention shifts to your domestic situation, home, family, landed interest, because this is where the solar eclipse is going to have maximum impact. You're going to change your whole mindset about domestic future, domestic situation, whether it's moving home, staying where you are, repairs, renovation, property sales, purchase, landed interest, anything about the home. Something's going to make you switch. You're going to see things in a completely different way. The problem is you can have quarrels, misunderstanding with your spouse, partner, girlfriend, boyfriend, any significant other person in regard to this domestic shift. And that's the problem, causing you a great deal of stress. On the other hand, a lot of this is just taken out of your control. There are unforeseen factors, something you had not foreseen, something you had not thought about comes in to make delays and changes to your home property situation. But it's good. Let it all go. Listen to what I said beginning of the video. Flow like a river over these obstacles, and they will become stepping stones to a better domestic future. Do not fear. Capricorn moon in ascendant. The lunar eclipse takes place in the 9th house of your chart. It's about connections to gurus, teachers, lecturers, should you be a student of any sort, or foreign trade, travel as well, many of you. It can connect you to fathers, advisors, people who give you financial advice, study advice, health advice, anybody giving you advice. There's a huge breakthrough going to happen in all of these areas, because there's been a mist over truth here going on since October last year. You felt in the dark, you felt misunderstood, you felt really under constriction. But finally, clarity comes. Conversation with your father, with your teachers, mentors, lecturers, advisors, even connections to far foreign shores are opening up clarification for you. Now you can actually make good decisions. Of course, lunar eclipse 13th, 14th of March is a bit of a cathartic thing. Wow, you didn't think this was going on. You are surprised by this information, and siblings may have interesting factors, even neighbors, to share with you near to this time. But the solar eclipse, you see, happens bang in the middle of your third house. Your ego, your decision, your fighting ability is being eclipsed because things seem to be taken a little bit out of your control. Some goal, some orientation you'd set your heart on seems to be not working. Maybe it's an interview situation. Maybe it's a competitive situation. Suddenly, you're beginning to think, is it worth all the bother? Is it worth all of this stress? Because maybe this is something not so important to you anymore. You'll be thinking these sort of lines. One thing for sure, watch your communication. I mean, really watch what you say, what you commit to writing on the internet or anywhere. What you say to others is going to come back big time during March. So it isn't just 29th of March, it's the weeks coming up to this. Check the beginning of the video. If you are in doubt, say nothing. Keep everything close to your chest, as they say. Don't reveal tactics to other people, to competitors. People who you don't think are your competitors are going to be found out to be competitors. Be really careful. So careful, strategic planning necessary. It doesn't mean that you've got to total all of your goals, but you've got to approach them differently. That's the thing. And siblings, neighbors may be having really critical situation and you feel stuck in the middle of it, but you feel a bit helpless to help them. Just let it be. Do not try to shift everything. Take responsibility. Let things settle. Check what I said about this solar eclipse at the beginning of the video. Be like the river. Let these obstacles just come before you and flow over them. Don't think that you, Capricorn, have got to take all of these big obstacles and shift them on your own. You do not have to do that. Check what I said, beginning of the video, once again. And because Mangala is in your 6th house, though you're in a very competitive, strategic mood, but Mangala is having a full drishti onto Ketu. So do not become all or nothing. Stay quiet. Keep your ambitions quiet. And whatever you do, don't quarrel. Keep out of all arguments at this solar eclipse. You may have to cancel travel plans, foreign lands, or you may have to do something different in regard to education. But the good news, it's happening in the 3rd, 9th house axis. This is something which you can keep to yourself. You do not need to advertise these big changes. You do not need to alert competitors to your plans. This is the key to get through solar eclipse in March 2025. And don't forget, very soon you're going to have Saturn going into a different house in your chart. Just after this date, 30th, Shani, your Lord Saturn is going into such a favorable position, Capricorn. You'll be glad that you didn't advertise all of these changes, because Saturn 3rd house will give you the edge over every competitive situation. Check the video on my channel, Saturn Pisces. This will be going on until 2028. You need to know about this? The link is below. Aquarius moon and ascendant, you're getting information about joint financial concerns, wills, legacies, inheritance, family affairs, even business affairs which have been kept under wraps or have been unclear to you, causing you some concern and some mystery really since the autumn 24. Now you're going to find the truth about these situations. So it's about loans as well, business concerns. Is it going to give you profit long term, or is it something which you need to cut away? You're going to make big financial decisions based on this critical information coming to you 13th, 14th March. How much money is coming to you? How much money are you earning? Or do you need to completely change your whole business orientation? It's a very important lunar eclipse for any self-employed Aquarians. If you are not self-employed, it's definitely still critical because this is about finances with your spouse. It's about relationships as well because the moon is in Leo sign in your 7th house of partnership. So partners having a critical situation. Your spouse, partner, girlfriend, boyfriend is having a bit of a crisis, maybe a bit of a meltdown near to this lunar eclipse, and they need you there. You've got to be there. You've got to support them. So don't become irritated. Give it everything you've got. Because this eclipse is about making future plans together. With this new information, you can have good relationship harmony. But if you don't take it on board, if you don't speak to your spouse, if you don't have that deep conversation now, mistrust could come between you coming up to the solar eclipse. Why do I say that? Because the solar eclipse is an eclipse of the sun, obviously, and the sun is the lord of your partnership house. So during the weeks up to this 29th of March, you got to be speaking to your partner. There's got to be honesty, clarity between you. It's so important. Of course, every solar eclipse is your 7th house lord being eclipsed, but this one's special because, check what I said beginning of the video, there is no going back. This is a definite decision cut off for the future. And it's happening in the 2nd house of your chart. Now, 2nd house is the break of the relationship itself. Now, this doesn't mean all Aquarians gonna get divorced, gonna split with their partner, no. But only with clarity can you renew this relationship. It's a make or break time. You've got to make decisions or it may be taken out of your hand. And it isn't just about partner, it's about business as well. Business make or break decisions, family concerns, make or break. Something cannot continue in an imbalanced way. And this solar eclipse makes everything clear to you. You become certain that you have to do things differently. That's the thing. So cooperate with others. Listen to your spouse. Get everything on the table clear between you. And this could be a whole new beginning. It's a make or break. And that's the point. Financially, getting up to this date is a critical time. Something is draining you financially. Something which you're going to have to definitely let go of. You could be having problems with your eating, or you could eat something that is not good for you, but it's about your whole dietary regime. It needs to be turned around, and this solar eclipse makes it clear. Even teeth problems could be there occasionally, some of you, because the eclipse happens in the 2nd house of your chart. And finally, watch your speech. Your speech is becoming all or nothing, is becoming dramatic. Check the beginning of the video where I spoke that this all or nothing dramatic tendency is the worst possibility. Keep everything calm and keep everything into a feeling of listening to other people, and it's going to be fine. Pisces moon and ascendant. The lunar eclipse on the 13th, 14th of March affects the 7th house of your chart primarily, but the 6th house gets involved. This is some information you've needed about relationships and business, and it's going to be huge. It's something which has been hidden or confused for you since October 2024. So where do other people stand? Are they supporting you or not? You're going to find out for sure on the 13th, 14th of March or near to these dates. Has your spouse been having health issues? You're going to find out about that as well. You're going to find out about pets. Pets could be having a crisis point because the sun and moon are affecting 12th, 6th house of your chart, but it's going to be fine. It's going to clarify so many minor things that you have been worrying about for so long. There may be ongoing niggling problems in your workplace with your work colleagues, and they're going to come to a critical crisis point near to 13th, 14th of March. But it's a good thing because finally solutions are definitely going to come. But it's all about this solar eclipse for you, Pisces. So many planets in your sign coming up to this dramatic solar eclipse on the 29th of March. You become a little bit fearful, agitated. You may be already like that, but you will definitely be like that after 14th to 15th onwards, because then you're getting into the eclipse vortex. So 2 weeks before this eclipse, calm down anxiety. You see, this is a good eclipse for you. This is something you've needed to happen for a long time. What's happening is a total reorientation for you, happening at a deep soul level, because this is a solar eclipse in your sign. It may involve partnership, job, business, everything. You decide to scrap the whole thing, even end a relationship. Some of you even end a whole business. You're going to do something different. You cannot go on the way you were. Solar eclipse like this one is a completely new direction. You are not going back to the past. That's the thing. And even though it's going to give you some anxiety, go with it. Go with your gut feeling. You've got to listen to your intuition, Pisces. Your intuition is always spot on. So don't listen to other people. Don't listen to anybody else. Listen to your inner voice. It's so important. Because very soon, in fact, one day after this eclipse, Saturn goes into your sign. Saturn, which will give you discipline, focus. What a work ethic. You will not be going all over the place anymore. You will not be lacking discipline. You will be totally focused. Check the video on my channel. Saturn transit Pisces coming up any minute now. A whole new Pisces person is going to come forth. You're going to accomplish so much. Check the video. The link is below. Check all the other transits happening now. Saturn going into Pisces and the predictions for the month ahead. The playlist is on your screen. And of course, don't forget to sub to my channel if you're new. Goodbye for now, and God bless you all.